more, let's bring in Larry Klayman. He is the founder of Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch and a former prosecutor of the U.S. Department of Justice. And Larry, thanks for joining us. Larry,
you're welcome.
Larry, the Comey testimony certainly doesn't make the president look good, but is there enough there to lead to anything conclusive?
You know, nobody's answering the fundamental question is, did Comey tell the truth in this written statement? Will he tell the truth tomorrow? People are presuming that that's what happened. Now, Comey also said in that statement that after one of the meetings that he had with President Trump, he went outside and started typing on his laptop in his FBI limousine. Now, someone should subpoena. We're going to attempt to get it at Freedom Watch, but certainly Congress should get it. The special counsel should get it, Robert Mueller, and see when those memoranda were prepared. Because if they were prepared after the fact, it looks like this is basically just a manipulation. He's trying to create evidence. And look, Comey has it in for the president. He wants revenge. He was humiliated in the firing. He coveted that position. He's a Washington creature of the establishment. So you can't take it on face value. And that's the problem of what a lot of people are doing today in the media.
Well, Larry, I want to go back to those memos because from a legal perspective, how much weight would they carry? I mean, given that they are, correct me if I'm wrong, a subjective account of what happened, even if he did type them immediately after the fact, and if they were done later, at a later date, how can you verify when those memos were in fact written?
Well, we want to see if Comey's telling the truth. Ordinarily, if you create a memorandum of a conversation or whatever in a contemporaneous way, fairly close to the time, it may be admissible in court.
But is it not still a subjective account? Is it still not his interpretation of what happened?
It very well may be. But here's the rub here, is it looks like Comey was preparing what was in effect a 302 report. This is something that FBI agents prepare. Now, he never did this, he says, for President Obama or any other president or any other high official. It looked like he was setting the president up in the event that he was ever fired or something happened. And that's not his proper role. 302 reports are when you are under criminal investigation. And that's, in effect, what he prepared. So I would take with a grain of salt what Comey is saying. And as you may know, I brought a lawsuit yesterday on behalf of myself and whistleblower Dennis Montgomery. Montgomery left the NSA, CIA, and Director of National Intelligence with 47 hard drives, over 600 million pages of information showing illegal surveillance in the United States. I took Montgomery to FBI Director Comey at the time. He supervised what was supposed to be an investigation. My client, Montgomery, testified under oath for 3 hours. He buried that investigation. He's covered it up because there have been revelations in the last few weeks that the FBI has been doing illegal surveillance along with the other intelligence agencies. So if anyone has committed obstruction of justice here, it very well may be James Comey himself. And this should be subject to Special Counsel Mueller's investigation, grand jury proceedings, and we, of course, are litigating in court in front of the same judge that made positive rulings on our behalf in the last several years that this type of surveillance is unconstitutional, a violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. It's a crime.
And Larry, why are we not hearing more about this lawsuit against Comey? Because it seems very few media outlets are even mentioning it, and it's a big deal.
You're right. You're mentioning it. There are a few others. I think the reason is that most of the leftist media here is out to get Trump. They don't want to hear that the Obama administration committed this illegal surveillance, including the participation of James Comey when he was part of that administration. In addition, I tried to get the intelligence agencies to look into this. No response. I think that they're worried that these intelligence agencies and the FBI have dirt on them, and that if they push too hard on these agencies to find out what really went on, that they'll be smeared themselves, their political careers and their personal lives will be ruined, just as they're attempting to ruin President Trump and his associates right now.
But Larry, surely this information against Comey is going to come out with Robert Mueller, this information that he suppressed, this evidence that your client supplied him. You'd expect that this will surface.
You just set me up with a great question with Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller was FBI director when a lot of this illegal surveillance was occurring at the FBI, according to my client, Dennis Montgomery. So he's potentially dirty as well. And he's not the man that people portray him to be. I have experience, we don't have enough time right now, where he covered up an investigation years ago. I represented 2 FBI special agents of Saudi money laundering in the United States. I think because the Saudis were very close to the Bush family at the time. We are nonpartisan, by the way, at Freedom Watch, so I call it as I see it. And the Bushes, I believe, were behind Mueller covering up this investigation of Saudi money laundering, which led ultimately to the tragedy at 9/11.
Well, Larry, those are some very serious allegations. We'll want to hear back from you about how all of this develops. All right. Thank you so much, Larry Klayman.
I'd like to spend some time. I'll lay it out.
All right. Appreciate that. All right. Larry Klayman, thank you again.